Okay, that's quite nice. I've got people in already. Hi guys. Yeah, it's a bank holiday Monday and I've been in the garden all day. Probably tell I'm a little bit burnt, but it's very, very warm, and I thought I'd come on and cover off something that I've actually done before, but maybe not in such a great format where it sort of made sense. It was quite bitsy. So yeah, what I wanted to do today is go through and talk to you about some of the crypto tax havens, but also cover off some of the things that are happening in the UK. I know that's not going to cover for everybody, but covering the UK, some of the bits and pieces that's been going on, because it's really quite interesting, some of the things that I've found. So just to say hello to everybody that's in. XRP Ball, you're first, thank you. And Tony, thank you for you and Dave today. You've been sharing and pushing for me to get to the 1,000 subscribers mark, and I will cover that in a little while. Brock Brown, how you doing, honey? Egbertina, hello, honey, how you doing? Casual Crypto Guy, evening all. You're still in Malaga, are you? Well, thanks very much for rubbing that in. Back on Thursday, Manchester Saturday. Well done. Well done. See you there. I'm actually going up to Manchester on Thursday, so that should be interesting. I've got some interviews lined up for that. Angie, thank you very much for coming in. XRP Andy, Ahmed Ali, Justin, Mark UK. Mark, are you coming to the meet in Manchester, or are you just going to make the one in Northampton? SW, how you doing? Rip X Moon and Jay's XRP, welcome. Connor McElhenney, thank you, Connor. Haven't quite got to the 1,000 mark yet, not yet. And Angel Connie, we have royalty in the house because she is amazing, amazing person. You can tell her energy just by what she types. So, and XRP Chance of a Lifetime, good name, like that. You're going to Northampton, perfect. Again, on the Northampton one, some of the guys are getting there for 12 o'clock. You're in the chat, and I think I've set up a chat for that one, because it's going to be a regular monthly meet, but in different places. Sorry, my voice is really gritty today. It's because I've been in the garden all day sunbathing, but I've had my fan. I put the extension lead outside and I had my fan on me the whole day, so it's dried my throat out a little bit, but hey ho, such is life. RTB, thank you for coming in. You should go to bed. You need to go to bed. It's late over in Singapore. Yeah, so that's everybody in. Oh, Danny, hey honey. So that's so that's what I'm going to do today. Just going to give you a very brief update, just recap on brief update on the 1,000 subscribers. Going to do a very quick overview of what we've spoken about before about crypto tax havens, because we've got some newbies that have come in that have asked if I can sort of run through that. So I've actually found a couple of items of information that doesn't directly influence cryptocurrency around the world, or digital assets, should I say, but it does with Australia and England, well, UK. Nobody tells you what to do. That was a friendly thing that said you didn't have to be here. If you know, I love the fact that you've come in, but yes, it is really late over there, so I don't expect you to stay long anyway. So basically, where we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Well, people have been absolutely amazing. Mike, Crypto Mike, he's sent people over to my channel, quite a few actually, and also Brad Kimes twice in 2 days. He's shouted me out from investment perspectives, and also digital asset investor. And then everybody else. I mean, the shares that have gone on for the posts that I've put up, I'm basically begging to try and get to 1,000 subscribers hopefully by the 5th of September, so that I can do some live streaming on my way to Manchester, but definitely by the 7th of September, so that I can do the live streaming of the conference while we're there, rather than have to record it on video and then upload it later, because I can't upload and record at the same time. So I might miss something. I don't want to miss anything. But also it gives me a chance to do little interviews, meet the community, get people chatting, talking on live stream, when there's breaks or lunch or coffee times or whatever it is that we're going to be having, of which, Scotty, you need to put out the agenda, mate. I need to know sort of round about what time, so I can start booking people in while I'm there. The zoo actually wants me to do a couple of interview with a couple of the mods, so I'm going to be doing that on the day, so that will be quite nice. So I put a post up earlier that said I was 5 subscriptions away from 800, and that was only a couple of hours ago. I'm now on 803 subscribers, so well done, and thank you very much. I really, really, really appreciate that. So basically what that means is I've only got 196 left to go. Now, bear in mind, I was on 273 subscribers less than 2 weeks ago. I'm sure that was, about 10 days? About 10 days ago, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I'm just going to go back to the chat briefly, because Mark UK responded, yep, 30-minute drive for you. Perfect. And what I'm going to do, probably, if I can get this sorted, is if we can bring the UKers, and I'm not doing it to alienate anybody else from any other countries, but if I can do the arrangements and we can get newbies who are coming into the space, if we can pick them up as they come in and say hello, point them in my direction, I can add them to a chat that I've got for UK meetups. And then basically I want to do a newbie masterclass at the beginning of it. Nothing horrendous, nothing in depth, no advice or anything like that, just to help them navigate how to put your portfolio together in one place. So you've got the bit screeners and all the other bits and pieces that you can download and actually get one place to actually put it, rather than have to go to an exchange or write everything down. Different exchanges, which ones have got onboarding, which ones got onboarding and offboarding, which are just literally straight exchanges that you can't do either with, the ones that have got the freebies, the ones that have the giveaways, and just talk them through it and navigate what took me a long time to get to grips with. If I can do that in a couple of hours, is like a masterclass at the beginning. I'm not going to charge or anything. I'm there for meeting the community, and hopefully this is a meet and greet. It's not like a conference like what Scott and Kurt put together for Love for Crypto. So this isn't, I'm not proposing that it's anything official or professional or anything like that, but what it does is it puts some people in place that can help the community. Of course it's going to turn into a piss up afterwards. I fully intend that to happen, and that's really good to help people to bond together and everything like that. But if at the beginning of it, if there's if it starts at 12 or 1 or 2 or whatever it is, if they turn up a couple of hours earlier, then I'll sit down at a table, we'll take over a corner of a restaurant or something and talk them through it. And then if it goes down well, then maybe we can, don't know, at some point, hopefully would have started going up by then, or I'll be working and I can fund it. Then maybe rent a conference room in one of the local hotels that we're going to stay at. I know that the Holiday Inns and all that sort of stuff have little conference rooms, and literally just sit there with my laptop, stick it up on a presentation, connect it and everything, and then I can do it that way. And I'm not going to give handouts or anything like that. I'm not into that side of it, but have a very interactive time with new people, so that they feel that they're not on their own while they're trying to learn, or they've got somewhere to go. I could even live stream it, somewhere to go or go to that's going to give them some help, where they don't feel that they can't come to the community because they feel stupid asking questions. Because on the ones that I felt stupid asking questions, you can tell the ones because it says, I'm having a blonde moment, i.e. I don't understand this, and it's and there's lots of people who are going to come in, and there's people that are probably better at it than me. So if they wanted to step in and do the same, then that's fine. It's just that nobody's offered that yet, and it's something that I love to share information. So put me in front of people, and I can disseminate information in a very easy way, hopefully, that they would feel a benefit for. And if they don't like what they're hearing, they're free to leave, and then they can go and sit in the bar and wait for everybody else to turn up. That's fine. So that's my idea. That's my idea, and I think that would be really, really, really good. So we're going through, and I'm just going to check to see if anybody else has come in. Everyone share this to Twitter. Thank you very much, XRP Chance of a Lifetime. That's really sweet. But yeah, share the shit out of it. Angie, I will get 1,000 subs. Do you know what? When I started, I thought it was a massive, massive thing to try and do. Almost unachievable, unobtainable. Now I'm quietly confident. I'm not going to say that I'm going to have it, because I never assume, but I'm quietly confident that I will, which will be amazing. Al, how you doing, honey? G-Man Crypto, the G-Man's in the house. Chris XRP, how you doing? Glad you could actually come in. And is that Ruben Stevens? Hi. You subscribed? Thank you very much, Ruben. I really, really appreciate that. I tend to have a very lax attitude with regards to live streams or even videos. I tend to put them up when I feel like it rather than when I should do it. But I also like to have some content as well as some feedback and interaction from you lot in the streams themselves. So sometimes I just don't feel there's enough news or something that I can talk about. My background is financial services, 32 years. So pensions and investments are my expertise on that side of it. As administrators, I've been an independent financial advisor, am no longer. So nothing that I ever say can be construed as independent financial advice, plus the fact you're not paying me for it. So anyone that's giving away free advice as such, always take with a pinch of salt and always go and do your own research. But if there's people like me that can point you in the right direction of where to go to look for stuff, or to give you an overview understanding of what it is that you need, then I can do it. I'm not technical in any way, shape or form. Don't ask me about trading, price predictions or anything like that. It's, for me, it's like, it looks like it's going up. Maybe I should buy now. It's one of those things where I have no clue. I'm going by the seat of my pants the same way as a lot of other people are. But there are also some really good traders out there that you can subscribe to. And but the space is what it is. It's not guaranteed. Somebody says trading is your friend until it's not. And that's because you can't guarantee that the trends are going to be there the same way as they always have been. And it tends to bite you on the arse an awful lot as well. So just go down to the bottom. Matt Reiter, how you doing, Matt? I am going to add you as a moderator. So you're now a mod, Matt, because you all say hello to me. Dirk Phillip, Ventolin for the heat. I'd imagine it's been unbearable. A Ventolin. Yeah, I carry a few around with me at the moment. It's not so much the heat, it's the lack of air, which is why I have a fan on me all the time. I don't actually have a problem. My Ventolin, my asthma isn't really triggered by heat or by cold or anything like that. It's lack of fresh air. I actually can feel, especially when I'm in like an airplane and things like that, the lack of fresh air really does make a difference. And I'm allergic to cats. And I've actually died twice. from asthma attacks. So it's an undervalued killer. But there's there's ways of keeping on top of it. Not things that I would go through in here right now. Justin, trading is not easy. Stick to buy and hodl. Absolutely. When I can, I do. But then basically, when I have to sell, then I try and pick the right time to sell as well. So Dirk, as a fellow asthmatic, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Stephanie G. How you doing? You're in my group, so you are now a moderator as well. Right, so Matt, you've died 2 times as well. Can I ask why? How? Ruben Stevens, shout out 2.4 kids on YouTube. Hey, 2.4 kids on YouTube. So that's where we are. Right, so crypto tax havens. It's something that I went into a little while ago. And can I share? This is where my technological expertise will let me down. I will do a private stream at some point and just try and work out how I can share my screen, because there isn't much here for me to. No, I can't see. No, I'll just have to read it to you, unfortunately, which isn't the best thing. But GNZ1986, you are more than welcome, honey. That was a thank you from me to you for responding to the request for subscribers when I was doing just a special giveaway. Right, so I'm just gonna hold that there and go to another page. Right, so there's places you can go, and I'm going to put the link in the stream, because this one here that I've just put up basically goes to, it's a regulation of cryptocurrency around the world. It's law.gov. It's the law library of Congress. So basically what you've got, it's based around America, I think. But what you've got is a whole list of different countries there. And it goes into the different regulations, the legal status, the regulatory framework, and also the countries that have or are issuing national or regional cryptocurrencies, which is quite interesting because that's new, that last one. So that basically means that there is now a market. So interestingly enough, there is now a market for countries that are going to be setting up their own crypto assets. And the fact that that's been put in there since I've actually looked at that, which was, what, 4 months ago? And if I just zoom that in a little bit so I can see. Countries that have or are in the process of issuing their own national or regional cryptocurrencies, Anguilla, Antigua and Barbados, China, Dominica, Grenada, Ireland, okay, that's interesting, Lithuania, Marshall Islands, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that's my favourite place in the world, and Venezuela. So basically, I knew about a couple of those. I didn't know about all of them. It looks like an awful lot of the Caribbean are going to go that way, which is very interesting on that side of it, with more to come. But the fact that Ireland is in there, Venezuela we knew about. But yeah, so it just shows you that even to 4 weeks or 4 months on to the last time I looked at that there is leaps and bounds that are going through that not a lot of people have their finger on the pulse of, because with Mark Carney coming out the other day about the fact that maybe we should be looking at crypto assets to replace the dollar as the world standard. That was huge. That was planned, and I'm pretty sure that was with permission from every country around the world that's part of this movement. So because nobody came out against Mark Carney. Trump didn't say a word about it, which was interesting, because if it was against our allies, then basically he would have questioned that quite strongly. So basically, that was a game changer as far as I was concerned, and that also means that crypto assets are going to be replacing fiat at some point, at least electronically. But there has to be some form of standard asset backup to that cryptocurrency, and it can't be just that they can print or make their own coins whenever they want, the same as they do with quantitative easing. So it's very questionable on what they're going to use, because all countries at the moment seem to be buying up as much gold as they can. Poland very recently asked the Bank of England or the Treasury for all its gold back. So yeah, they're positioning themselves for something. I also follow the money, and I'm pretty sure that following the money, we're going to end up with a gold back standard world crypto asset as from some form of currency against the dollar, because the dollar is so strong at the moment that it's not of a benefit to the rest of the world. So that's why I feel that the movement is going on about that right now. But also, you know, where that comes with XRP. I mean, predominantly we're here for XRP. I don't think XRP is going to be the only currency that's going to be used. I don't think. I think that there will be other bridge assets that can be used at the same time. From what I understand, then, you know, they might pick the top 5 crypto assets, and it could be any one of them that can be used for a bridge asset. But the bridge is there for a reason, and there has to be an asset either end. So whether that be gold, fiat, cryptocurrencies set up by all the different countries or whatever, even down to property, whatever. I mean, everything can be put on the blockchain. So, you know, and the only thing that we need between that is now the interledger protocol that actually allows you to change one asset into another asset as simply as moving an email from one side of the world to the other. So so yeah, let's all pick the same island in the Caribbean. Hey, Danny? Yes, we should. In that case, that would need to be Palm Island, because that's my favorite place in the whole world. But they only have 84 accommodations in there. So yeah, unfortunately. Anna, how you doing, hun? Didn't notice that you come in there, so welcome. I'm talking shit as usual. So John Dio, way down we go. It's going to go down, but it's also going to go up. You know, there's no two ways about it. It's been held back, and apparently the last 4 years that's given a support that is very hard to break, and if it breaks it, it will go down by quite a bit. I think predominantly when they talk about that sort of stuff, they're talking about Bitcoin. But I was told a long time ago that don't expect XRP to go up until after it's hit 19p. Sitting at 22p at the moment, it went down to 21 pence. And I just prepared my whole family for it to go down to 19 before it pings back up again. But there's lots of things that are changing. I think the Facebook Libra coin was either a plant to make things happen quickly, or was just a catalyst for things to start to happen more quickly. But I think the agenda has now changed. I think that the rollout will have to be quicker than it was planned. So we could see price movement before that. I also think that Brad Kimes has got it completely right when he turns around and says that the XRP that's held is pre-sold, or at least pre-allocated. I think that's a logical thing, and I did say that a couple of months ago, that it doesn't make sense for it to sit there, that banks can't physically buy it at the moment because we don't have any regulation. But what they can do is they can allocate it in the accounts that they've got it, and just once the regulation comes in, then they can take their XRP out as they want it. But what they've done is they've secured it at the price that it was, not the price it's going to be when they're actually allowed to have it. So yeah, Interledger will be the connector using XRP. Yeah, but I don't think it's just going to be XRP. I think the connector can. It's not just XRP that can be used on that. XRP is the quickest and the cheapest. Don't get me wrong, but there are others out there that can be used. I'm sure that people won't be using Bitcoin unless it pulls its socks up and gets a little bit quicker. But yeah, let me just catch up on Patsy Green. How you doing, honey? We'll be going broke before everybody else. No, we're not. No, we're not. Just hold it. Not 19 cents, 19 pence. I'm in England, so I did see the Swift document showing the test with XRP. Sam Ian brought that up on his chats. No, Connie and Steph are two different people. Angel Connie is Connie, and Steph is just Steph. Two separate people. And I've met Connie. Connie's actually on some of my previous videos. If you go back and have a look, I also, my favourite one is Connie got her feet wet. But yeah, Steph G is. Did we have 19p about 2 weeks ago? Oh, I missed that. Oh, okay. So that's why everybody's saying it's ready to ping. Okay. Thank you, Tony. I didn't realise that. I actually have not been watching the prices because it's down so low at the moment. It's just not worth torturing yourself looking at it thinking, how does everything else go up? So, but when the Amazon cloud went down and the Japanese were affected by that, XRP went to $9. So, you know, I'm looking at that going, if XRP could be at $9 because the bots were actually switched off, then, you know, the manipulation is quite heavy, but they have to be able to manipulate it to keep it low at the moment to prove that the price can be stable. But then at the same time, the price actually has to be higher for it to make sense. So there's no point having a $20,000, $30,000 Bitcoin and you've got XRP sitting at 30 cents, but it's used by every single financial institution in the world. It doesn't make any sense. Andy, glad you couldn't agree more. Sometimes prices get to you, but it's best to not watch these days unless we're buying. Yeah, exactly that. And until I ever sell my house, get my job and get my first wage check, the only thing that I'm watching is the prices so that I can sell right now. Yeah, September's supposed to be very important, Chris, but also we've got BACS being launched on the 23rd of September. If that gets launched, I can't see why they would put the prices up before that launch. Yeah, Anna, $9 sounds good to me too. Francisco, how you doing, huh? Yeah, so basically, I digress, and I always digress, which is why it always goes on for so long. So, countries with 0% tax. So I did quickly go through this before, and this is actually on Coin Sutra, and I'm going to put the link up in, it's not Twitter, don't want Twitter, sorry, in here. Right, now Coin Sutra basically actually runs through the top 10 So it's the countries with 0% tax or tax-free life for crypto. So basically, the person that wrote this has exactly the same attitude that I have. Crypto should not be taxed because we already buy crypto with our hard-earned money, which is already taxed. So he believes that the capital gains tax should be there. I actually don't think it should, personally, because there's too many countries out there that don't. And what they're going to do is they're not having a level playing field. So unless every single country changes their way that they treat crypto, which will mean either they all go crypto tax-free or they don't, then you're going to end up with an awful lot of people, rich people, moving country. People, countries like Germany. Now, basically, Germany has it doesn't class it as a currency; it classes as a commodity. Sorry, as private money. So basically, what they do is they treat it like you've bought a different currency, a foreign currency. So what they do is they don't actually tax it at all, provided that you've held it for more than 12 months. So then any capital gains taken after 12 months, completely tax-free. So it's not a short-term solution, but as a medium to long-term solution, it's a really good idea. So, and number 2, Singapore. So RTB, you are moving away from a good tax haven. Bitcoin is neither considered a currency nor a commodity. Businesses that are involved in digital currency trading are taxed on the profits derived from the businesses, but there's no rules for individuals. So you can basically you can trade and take your assets out without paying any taxation. So it appears long-term regular investors won't be taxed when he or she cashes out. I don't know if that means that short-term investors will, though. So that would have to be checked. Belarus, it's in Eastern Europe, and it's very liberal towards digital currencies. So on 22nd of December 2017, which was round about the bull run, the president of Belarus legalized cryptocurrencies, including ICOs and smart contracts. So he was ahead of the game. But he declared cryptocurrency mining, trading, and capital gains on cryptocurrencies and ICOs were tax-free for the next 5 years. So only until 2023. And then they'll probably reassess it. So what he's done is he's made them a very good place to be, well, until 2023, so another 4 years. Slovenia is a haven for individual investors. Capital gains are not taxed and not considered part of the income. So basically, if you get your income, if you take your income, you take your coins out and you sell down your assets, then you don't actually have to pay any taxation on that. But businesses of Bitcoin cryptos are taxed. So any of the exchanges and that will be taxed, which is standard corporate taxation. For now, these are the only countries that have explicitly and officially taken a stand on the tax exemption of capital gains on Bitcoin and cryptos. So many countries are unofficially Bitcoin tax havens, as they don't have any capital gains taxes there. So Hong Kong, New Zealand, Switzerland, Barbados, Malaysia, and Mauritius. And also add one to that is Portugal. So yeah, Barbados is looking quite decent right now, and Switzerland. So, you know, it's one of the cases where when you decide that you're going to cash out, however you're going to cash out, if you're going to take out a lot, then you have to decide on whether you are going to do that in the country and pay the taxes, or move and not pay the taxes. In the UK, we pay 20%. So I probably, if I get to the stage where I can take out a lot, then I would move to do so. But when I'm cashing in my small bags, of course I'm going to pay it. Right, so nations with low crypto capital gains tax rates. So ones that I haven't contacted, or ones that I haven't covered at the moment: Malta, no capital gains tax at present. So it's well established as an offshore tax haven. Panama, which was an interesting one. So no tax on cryptos or any forms of capital gains for non-Panama sourced gains. So it's if you buy in Panama from Panama sourced companies, then I take it that's going to cover things like I don't know, art and that sort of stuff. That if you buy it and then you sell it, then there would be a capital gain on that. So, but if it's crypto, then there's no tax on them. Peru, developing nation, recently cut its capital gains to 5%, which is a hell of a lot better than the 20% we've got here. So that applies to residents and non-residents alike. Portugal, oh yeah, these are covered in this one. There's no crypto capital gains tax unless you trade crypto full-time as a business, and then they tax you as business. Singapore offers a 0% capital gains tax rate, applies to crypto gains. Well, there you go, there's the answer that wasn't covered really properly in the last one. And an honourable mention, France slashed its capital gains tax on crypto from 45% to 19% last April 2018. And there's a bit in here about the Americans, so I'm going to put that on the stream as well so that you can read, because I can't share it. Just go back in and have a look. Taxes theft, you're right, SG, you are absolutely right. It's talk of regulations a few days before BACT, yeah, which will be fantastic, but I doubt whether it would go live. Any regulations would not go live until after BACT has launched. Cecilia George, hi, how you doing, hon? Thank you for listening. Patsy, see you later, and travel safely. I agree, Stephanie G. You have your pitchfork out on the price of XRP, shoveling as much as you can get. Yes, you can, Darren. Yes, you can. It's definitely time to buy. It's just so frustrating that I can't. But FX trading isn't taxed. I thought crypto was the same because it's speculation. No, same as betting. Betting isn't taxed in the UK either. Nigel, and welcome. Justin, I cannot see crypto going tax-free in the UK. HMRC have to have their fingers in the pie. Yeah, well, they're trying to set the UK up as a crypto Silicon Valley, which is why they're putting all the infrastructure into Cambridge. That Cambridge, it's like an area in Cambridge that they are desperately trying to put the infrastructure into, you know, the roads, the 5G and that sort of stuff, so that they can bring new starts in for fintech stuff. And I'll cover that in a second. I know that from when I used to stand for Parliament up in Essex, what they were doing on the Cambridge side of things, because they were putting a lot more money into Cambridge than they were doing anywhere else in the country, and we couldn't work out why until somebody actually, it was before I got into crypto, but somebody turned around and said to me, they want the fintech hub, especially after Brexit. They want the fintech hub for this side of Europe to be in Cambridge, which is a very short distance away from London, but they don't want it in London. Work that one out. They're moving stuff away. Let's have a look. Excited to hear what they announce at Swell this year. Yes, so will I. Isn't that in October? Swell? I don't know. Short term can be up to 40%. Yeah, no, I know. Let me just check to see and catch up. I still think Barbados sounds really good. And I think our first meet should be in Bora Bora. Or, and I have said it before, Liechtenstein. Only because of the Ripple Riddler. Casual crypto guy, taxman ain't getting jack shit. Exactly. I mean, as Darren says, permanent residence at Boo Boo's Portugal house. My house would be big enough. I'm going to buy a massive house, or I say massive, about 9 bedrooms, so that I can invite people to have parties. Justin says, remember you can get your initial investment out and have about 11k CGT allowance before paying any tax. Yeah. You don't pay it on the first, I think it's 10,600 or 10,800, something like that. It might have gone up. I've been out of financial services for, Christ, about 18 months now. So, actually, no, I haven't. That's a lie. About a year, just over a year. So, yeah, you get the first of that. But I'm going to wrap that up in the first shallow bag that I sell. And everything I'm selling at the moment is at a loss. So, I mean, I've got no CGT to pay on that at all. But yeah, no, you do have an allowance, and yeah, I should have reminded people about that. Pate, welcome in. Oh no, hold on, doors open. Daddy Longlegs is in the house. I don't like him. Don't like them at all. Go away. Where's Chase when you need him? He used to chase them around and eat them. Right, so let me just have a quick catch up. Keep an eye on the fly thing. Oliver, how you doing? You live in Essex? Right, I used to live just some moth. I used to live just down the road from Dunmow, which was about 10-12 minutes away from Stansted Airport. A place called Dooton Hill. Bloody loved it there. Chelmsford. Yeah, I've been out a few times in Chelmsford. I might do a meet up Essex way, actually. That would be a really good one. Because I can stay with friends as well. So, Earl's Colne near Halstead. Ah, well, in that case, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because you got Little Easton, Great Easton, and then Dooton Hill as you come away from Dunmow on the way to Thaxted, and that's where I was. So I think I've caught up on that. Right, so the next piece of news that I've got, let me go back and just move that so that I know where I start from. Okay. Crypto assets for individuals. HM, right, I'm going to send you a link on this. This is for the UK people only. And because I've got so many people in the stream that aren't UK, I'm not actually going to go through it. I will do a whole stream on this on its own because it's specific to the UK. But take a link, download it, and have a read through. I will actually go through that. It's a really good paper. I've been asked to write a paper like this for UKIP, for the Gerard Batten, that was the leader of UKIP, because he wants to understand it a little bit better, because he is the same as every other person in the country that isn't linked to crypto assets. He thinks that it's a questionable scam that's used for nefarious purposes. And I said I would write him a paper. So I'm using this to check the basis of what I'm saying, to explain to him in words of one syllable, because obviously this is written by the government and is not quite so straightforward. Plus the fact he wants to know the permutations and how it might affect going forward. So luckily I had a really good chat with him back at the UKIP Southern Conference a couple of months ago, and I gave him some key things to look out for, and oh boy, they've been hitting left, right and centre. Somebody on the BBC using, you know, the word cryptocurrency. I told him to watch for Ripple and XRP as well. That when it goes on the BBC, that's the time when it's going to start flying. But yeah, so much more is being said. Banking institutes talking about crypto assets. Yeah, so it's interesting stuff. Now, basically, what we had last year was a guy called John Glenn. Now he works in London, and he's a city minister. And basically, what he's been calling for is for the country to formulate a proportionate regulation. So to give the digital currency a boost, because he was at the Treasury's International Fintech Conference. Right, now that was held in March 2018. I thought it was March 2019, but I need to go and get the other bit. But anyway, so basically he was calling for us as a country to bring a lot more clarity to the regulation. But the fact is that there was an international fintech conference and they are talking about cryptocurrencies. And that was last year. I didn't realize it was last year. I actually thought it was 2019, not 2018. So it's not quite as exciting as I thought it was going to be. But basically they put together a task force and they fed back to the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority. Now the Financial Task Force didn't really understand cryptocurrency. So when I was reading through, and I've got it as an attachment in my email, which I forgot to bring up, what they're talking about is who should and who shouldn't be allowed to buy cryptocurrency. They still think that it can be mandated on that side of it, which is very short-sighted of them, very short-sighted of them. But what they're talking about is actually in the remit of in a financial institution, an insurance company with view to pensions and investments and ETFs. What they're doing at the moment is the FCA run all of the insurance and financial side of things. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to work out where cryptocurrency fits in as an asset class. And that's really exciting. Now, I read through the paper about 6 weeks ago. So I should have read through it before I came on today. But basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it so that the only time that you can buy it through an insurance company is through an IFA. And then you're going to be down to all of the attitude to risk and capacity for loss requirements that everybody has if they want to get a pension or an ISA or an investment. So basically what they're not doing at the moment is try to address things like exchanges, scammers, people stealing and that side of it. But what I was interested in was the glitch that happened in Japan. They actually turned around and said that they were thinking about redacting, about going back and getting back the bitcoins that were sold for less than $1. And I shared that on Twitter and said I didn't think they could do that, because if they can do that, then all the money that's been scammed off people, they can get that back. So that's going to be a really interesting one to watch, because if they say that they can do that, then basically when people get scanned and they turn and say, sorry, smart contract, can't change that, it's gone. In actual fact, they can. So I'm watching that one with interest, with a lot of interest, because that is a game changer. Because if one exchange does it, it completely changes the whole of the crypto sphere in a large way. So that's all I've got to say on that side of it, because I'm running on 50 minutes and I'm not going on for longer than 60 minutes, not this time. So I was just catching up with what was being said. Crypto camper, BBC has an entirely different meaning on dating sites, I hear. Dating sites? Okay. I'll leave that one alone. Is Bubba in here? Bubba? If he is, welcome. Going to work. Have a wonderful stream. Bye bye. Thanks, G-Man. You take care. You're not a financial advisor. Neither am I. Right. So basically, that is as far as I have gone. Darren, London as our capital city is already at capacity. A space industry needs its own space to grow and thrive. London doesn't have capacity. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And to be perfectly honest, London's a shithole. It's yeah, I hate it. I actually hate London completely. Talk about asthma. I go up to London, my asthma goes off the scale. Off the scale. The pollution and the you can taste it. I used to work in central London, and I used to have, I used to go in on a motorbike. So I'd go from down the M11, take me about, I don't know, 40 minutes around the North Circular. And basically, when I got to work, I used to have wet wipes, and I used to wipe my face off, because obviously going through the traffic, you expect it. But then at lunchtime, I used to use wet wipes again, and I used to get just as much dirt off. And that was inside the building. You know, it's in the air. You can taste it. It's horrible. It's dirty and crowded, and I don't do crowds anyway. So yeah, I stay as far away from London as I possibly can. I'd never go back to work in London, not unless I absolutely had to. I stay as far away from London as I can. So so yeah, I applaud anyone that actually sets up. I think that Cambridge is a vast, wide open space, and it will definitely have the scope to grow that it needs to do. Rip X Moon, can you verify on Bitru with a driving license if you don't have a passport? I am pretty sure you can. Are you in the UK, Rip X Moon? Crypto camper, I am Bubba. Oh, sorry, crypto camper, you are Bubba. Right, okay. Cool. No, like London. Yeah, it's changed. I mean, I used to literally on a Friday night, way back when I was about, in fact, when I was learning to drive, because I had a motorbike, so I never bothered with the driving side of things. And you know, there's only a certain amount of shopping you can get on a motorbike. So you was born in Fulham. Oh my God. I was in I was in SW15, which is south of Putney. Well, Putney is SW15, but I was south of Putney in Kingston Vale, down near the Robin Hood gate of Richmond Park. So I was born in Kingston, but I spent most of my growing up life in Kingston Vale. So so I've seen the changes that go on. But when I was living in Kingston Vale, I had to learn how to drive to get a car, obviously. My boyfriend, who was younger than me by a year, actually had his driving license, but he wouldn't get on the back of me on a motorbike. and I had a full license on a motorbike. So I've got me car license. But what we used to do on a Friday night was a whole load of us. I used to get like, I don't know, 8 people in my car, and we used to drive with L plates, drive up to London, park up round the back of Soho, because it was free parking then, and it was easy to get in and easy to get out. And basically, we used to spend the night walking around London, you know, Trocadero, Leicester Square, Piccadilly Circus, and yeah, Putney. Yeah, just Putney Bridge, and then go over it, and then you've got Fulham. Fulham is before Putney Bridge on the left-hand side, isn't it? So yeah, anyway, so basically that's what we used to do. Connie, of course you would. Yes, you would. You'd get on the back of a bike with me. I used to knock around with the Roehampton lads. There was a whole group of us. There was about 15 of us used to hang around. But that was before I started driving and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, Roehampton Vale. The estate, Roehampton estate. If you're around about 50, I might know you, but you're probably not. But anyway, so basically that's what we used to do. We used to drive up and walk around and have a great time. I'm a biker, Justin. You can't keep me off bikes. But we used to have a great time. And you go into London now, and basically you're stuck in traffic for hours on end. There's nowhere to park. When you do have parking, it's you've got to pay through the nose for it. You know, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not safe either. You know, it's not a safe place to be, unfortunately. So yeah, so that's a little bit about me. I was born in Kingston, and I lived in Kingston Vale. And I didn't move down to Eastbourne until I was 31. So, fun fair. What, Hampton Court? Fun fair in Hampton Court? That's where I used to go, Hampton Court. Denmark. That's a little long way to go, Anna, on a bike. It's I could do about, I'd say the longest I ever did on a bike, I went up to Liverpool. And I was on a 305, GPZ 305. It's one of my first big bikes. It wasn't big, but the first bigger bike after a 125. And the weather was atrocious, and the wind was against, and I just tucked behind a lorry for most of the time. Tony, yeah, I had my full bike license before I had a full car license. So. But yeah, that trip up to Liverpool took me 6 hours. It was horrendous, absolutely horrendous. I stopped twice. If I could have got out of going to Liverpool, I was going to a training. God, I was going to a training course to be a financial advisor with Prudential. So, officially in motion. How you doing, honey? Yes, I'm your boo. You had a 250 and 380 Suzuki. 900 Quacker, well, GPZ Quacker, and a host of other bikes. My last two, I had both at the same time. I had a GPZ 400, Japanese import. That was a 1984 blue, and that was water cooled. And it was a collector's item, but I had to sell it quick when I had to move down from Essex. So someone ended up getting that for, it was about just under £400, which was stupid. And then I had a GSX Suzuki 600, but the 600F, not the 600R. 600R I would have killed myself on. But yeah, I had 600F. That's what I used to go in and out of London on. Brilliant bike, absolutely fantastic. But yeah. So, David D, how are you doing? Just in time for me to leave, because we're knocking on the 60 minutes mark. So, anyone got any questions? Nothing that's going to take too long, I hope. Biker and car, yeah. Cars, I like my Subarus. I'm a bit of a speed freak. We call them no, it's all right. Z1. I had a Z1000. I had a Z1000 before I had the GSX 600. That was awesome. But when that used to take off, I had a power band that hit in at 4,000 revs, and it used to shoot forward, and I would have to literally, I was a lot thinner then, just remember that. I was tiny, but I used to have to tuck my feet underneath the pegs to hold me down, so that I didn't actually lift. My bum used to lift off the seat. It was a little bit dangerous, but it went really, really, really fast, and I did like it. So good evening from Tim in the Netherlands. How are you doing? You're just in as I'm going out, unfortunately. I'm just wrapping it up. David D, you just got back to London. 194. Yes, please. That would be absolutely bloody lovely. Oh, 803 subscribers. 197. Somebody's unsubscribed from me. How dare they? They dare. It's fine. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I don't pretend to be. I'm not technical, and I've got 24 people watching me. Oh, no, I am. I'm at 806. So it's 194. You are right. It hadn't updated. So I'm going to say good night, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be. And I will catch most of you on Twitter anyway. If you're not on my Twitter as a friend, hit me up. I am still, thanks, Anna. I'm still XRP Boo Boo wherever I go. So, David D, you were in Mexico yesterday, Madrid this afternoon, still made SG's, Brad's, and Boo Boo stream. Oh, that is awesome. That is bloody awesome. And DD1, good night, honey. That's all right. You can always go back and have a look. It's actually got some quite good information, Tim, about crypto tax havens. So hopefully it came across okay. And yeah, listen, anybody in the UK, Manchester, 7th of September, I've just shared a link, or before we came on, I shared a link to go and get your tickets for the Love for Crypto conference. Oh, my bird desperately wants to come out. Crypto conference on the 7th of September. So if you can get there, good night, Ripex Moon. If you can get there, then please do. I'm going up there on the Thursday, and obviously the conference is on the Saturday. Hopefully, if I can get these 1,000 live stream, these 1,000 subs, I can live stream during the day. That's the plan. Brad, when he shouted me out earlier, said that he said that to help me to monetize my channel. I'm not monetizing my channel. So it's a case of I need the 1,000 subs just to be able to live stream. So so basically, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And I have come on exceedingly well. So I'm really excited about that. So again, I'm going to say good night, and I'm going to end the stream in any second. So see you later and have a lovely evening. Catch you later. Take care. Bye.